Hello and welcome to National Focus. I am SHAAKIRA. In the headlines, Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt SKERRIT says collaboration between Dominica and Duquesne University will be beneficial to Dominica. And the OECS Competitive Business Unit launches first phase of music mentorship program. Details of the headline stories and more coming up.
Dominica has so much to offer. There's so many tours and there's so many things to do in Dominica. So our role is to market the country, to make persons more aware of the country, to bring people into Dominica through access. And then when they get to Dominica, what we want is that the person has a fantastic experience. And that is where it touches so many of us. And it starts with the immigration officer, the port officer, when you get to the hotel, the receptionist, the person who's doing your room, the bartender, the taxi driver who will take you on a tour, the tour operator, the tour guide who's going to take you all around. You're going to go to a store, you're going to go to the supermarket and buy food, you're going to go to the bank and change money. There are many people who are indirectly involved. So when a hotel is being constructed, you have the construction persons, you have the foremen, you have the truck drivers. The persons who are fixing the roads make a contribution. The persons cleaning the city also make a big contribution because people want to see a clean city. We say that Dominica is beautiful, clean and green, so obviously we have to ensure that that is done. So everybody really plays their part, whether it's in a huge way or in a small way, everybody plays their part to make tourism a success. My name is Robert Tong. I am the Minister for Tourism and Urban Renewal, and tourism is my business.
Welcome back. Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt SKERRIT says the collaboration between the government of Dominica and the Duquesne University will benefit Dominica tremendously. Officials from the university have been on island from Saturday to get a first-hand view of Dominica's progress post-Maria. The main purpose of the visit is to assist Dominica in building resilience in the energy sector, enabling the country to be able to bounce back after storms and hurricanes. It is against this backdrop the delegation visited the 7-megawatt geothermal plant government is constructing in the Roosevelt Valley. Honorable SKERRIT announced on Tuesday that the university will also help Dominica with waste management.
Every island in the world I know of, Dominica included, has a serious challenge with waste management. Because people have greater access to consumable goods, we buy stuff, you buy a washing machine, it's not washing your clothes, you don't get to fix it, you set it aside and you buy a new one because you can buy a new one. Whereas there are countries that people try to fix it and have it for a longer period of time. It's easier for us to go to the supermarkets and to buy a box of juice rather than to squeeze the lime or to peel the grapefruits and squeeze them and sweeten it and all these things and to wash the utensils and so forth. So why don't you go to the shop and buy a box of juice, we open it and we put it in the glass and we drink it. So, and people have the resources, so they buy it. And that's the world. The world has evolved and we cannot necessarily chastise people for these things.
The officials will be reviewing Dominica's waste treatment plant owned by the Dominica Water and Sewage Company, DOWASCO.
Our friends here also will be reviewing our waste treatment plant, the one owned by DOWASCO, and to see where we've fallen short in terms of the management of this and what is their advice on how we can improve it. So not only improve it, but also look at the possibility of making money out of waste, transform it into energy. And I think it's an important area where DOWASCO itself needs to look at in conjunction with the power generating company.
The government of Dominica will also enter into an agreement with the Duquesne University for the training of Dominicans, which will boost Dominicans' human resource capacity. Prime Minister SKERRIT says there seems to be a mismatch between what students study at universities and what Dominica needs.
What you find in many instances is that there is a saturation in some areas of studies and there's a huge deficiency in many other areas that are critical to the economy of our countries. The question is how many people you need to study X. and how many people you need to study why, in terms of what your country needs. And this is why I've said to our citizens, there must be a paradigm shift to education, there must be a paradigm shift to human resource development. Because there has to be, we have to declare for ourselves and determine for ourselves what are the national imperatives. What skill sets do we really need in the second decade of the 21st century, going into the 22nd century, to really take our economy to the point where it is. And if we have students studying areas that are already saturated, what you're going to find is that they will not be able to get the jobs that they are looking for.
The nation's leader says the visit of the delegation is one step forward to moving Dominica to the right direction. Prime Minister SKERRIT thanked the officials for their efforts and says he looks forward to signing an agreement that will define the working relationship between the Commonwealth of Dominica and Duquesne University. Approximately 500 backpacks will be handed over to students of 6 primary schools in the east of the island. The backpacks filled with school supplies will be distributed to the Concord, Atkinson, Castlebruce, Seneca, and Salibair primary schools and the Lighthouse Christian Academy. Trip Wireless, Digital Dominica, Flow Dominica, and Canto funded the donation. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education and Human Resource Development, Chandler Hyacinth, said that this donation is very timely.
Whenever donations are made, they are always timely, and we welcome them because there is always need within the Ministry of Education. So we want to thank you tremendously for this donation. We know that our students who are the recipients of these school supplies will certainly show some appreciation to these tokens as they receive them.
She noted that the Ministry of Education aims at providing assistance to all students, a goal which the companies have assisted with the donation.
The Ministry of Education and Human Resource is all about providing an environment for every learner to succeed. And for learners to succeed, success can be measured in various forms. We provide serious support to many of our students, and it takes the form of textbook schemes, transportation, payment of fees, support tuition for study overseas, and other forms of tertiary education. We also provide psychosocial support, emotional support to our students so they can succeed. So Canto and Trip Wireless and Digicel and Flow, you are contributing towards providing our students with support.
Hyacinth added that these kinds of donations are very important to the recipients, some of which are in need. She further expressed her gratitude on behalf of the ministry to the donors.
It may look simple, but it is important because we know there are many students who may not be able to provide all that is necessary for them to be successful in school. So you are contributing to assist us in providing that sort of safety net for our students. So we appreciate your contribution and we thank you very much. The Ministry of Education is also about creating and maintaining safe, healthy environments for learning. And one of the partners here, Digicel, you have contributed tremendously towards creating that learning environment for our students, in particular in the rehabilitation efforts, the rebuilding efforts at 6 of our primary schools in the East: Concord, Castlebruce, Seneca, Atkinson, Salibair, and Lighthouse Primary School.
The Ministry of Tourism and Culture has hosted a tree planting ceremony as activities for Tourism Awareness Month gets underway. The event, held at Monbruce, was attended by numerous officials from the forestry as well as the 4-H Club of the St. Mary's Academy. Minister for Tourism and Culture, Honorable Robert Tong, says tree planting is part of the ministry's efforts post-Hurricane Maria to build sustainability and restore Dominica's natural aesthetics.
We're here today to mark the beginning of Tourism Awareness Month, where we're trying to ensure that the entire country understands the importance of tourism and how it impacts on all of us, be it directly or indirectly, and it helps to create economic activity, it helps to create jobs, and it helps to create foreign exchange, all in the benefit of the country. Our theme this year is sustainability, and as you know, as a result of Hurricane Maria, if you look around, you will see that Dominica is still green and beautiful, but we know that we had 1,000 shades of green before, and now we have 550 shades of green. So we too have to do our part. Mother Nature is important. Mother Nature is powerful. Mother Nature is amazing. She regenerates herself, but we can also help by doing a lot more ourselves.
Minister Tong says this should not only be done once, but should be a continued effort by all citizens. He further called on all schools to select an area and do their part in planting trees around the island.
So we're here today as part of Tourism Awareness Month to begin and to improve on the number of trees in our environment. We have done other programs like that, other ministries have done other programs like that, and we're happy that we are partnering with the Ministry of Forestry, who are more than happy to assist us in having this program today. Surely it'll help them in their plans also to help to replant Dominica. So we're really happy that they've come here and they've brought some beautiful plants for us to put in the ground today. And this shouldn't just be just today. I think all of us have to do our part in terms of replanting. So I'm challenging all the schools, all of the different organizations to adopt certain areas and work with the Ministry of Forestry to get the plants and go and replant various areas.
The Dominica State College emerged winners of the Junior Achievement Dominica and Scotiabank Innovation Camp 2019, where 4 teams were given the task of finding innovative solutions to challenges that emerge in the world of finance and business. According to Executive Director of Junior Achievement Dominica, Mrs. Randa Alexander Alfred, the team comprising of Cody Jajak, Kia Lawrence, Kaja Charles and Shania Edwards will go on to represent Dominica at the online-based Regional Innovation Camp later this year. The SC team's presentation centered on the need to develop a social media-based platform to promote and deliver improved financial literacy programs.
They won with their presentation centered around the need to develop a swift online-based platform. The SWIFT stood for Snapchat, WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. This was a platform enabled to promote and deliver improved financial literacy programs to students. Now, the students of our Dominica State College, our winning team, will have to represent Dominica at the online-based Regional Innovation Camp in May 2019. With other JA students from across the Caribbean and the Americas.
In 2017, the Dominica State College competed in the regional camp and placed first runner-up. Mrs. Alfred says she expects no less this time around.
The Dominica State College team participated in the Regional Innovation Camp and placed first against all other countries. First runner-up. We are hopeful that this year that our winning Dominica State College team again can actually win for JA Dominica and Dominica State College. When, because we are speaking into our future, when they win, they will also receive an all-expense paid trip to visit Scotiabank in Mexico City and to go to the FIE, which is an International Entrepreneurs Forum, also in Mexico. It's a week-round trip for 5 students and a chaperone.
Director of Student Services at the Dominica State College, Ms. Trudy Christian, commended the students on their achievements and encouraged other students to participate in such activities.
I want to, from the Dominica State College standpoint, highlight the achievement of Mr. Kia Lawrence, Shania Edwards, Kaja Charles and Mr. Cody Jajak, who were the participants in the Innovation Challenge, and let them know that we are quite proud of them and their willingness to participate. It's not easy to get people to participate in competitions. Some people are very nervous about taking part in competitions, but they came forward and were willing to participate, and they were successful. So the State College is quite proud of these students, and of course we continue to encourage students to engage in these sort of activities.
Ms. Christian says such activities help boost the holistic development of students, thus preparing them for an ever-evolving world.
We see the work of Junior Achievement Dominica to be one that will improve the students' overall development and also give them additional things to add to their resume and to help them to be more competitive in the world in which they're going to be facing once they leave the Dominica State College. So it is my hope that we can continue to partner with Junior Achievement Dominica and with other entities that wish to really develop our students here at the Dominica State College. So thank you once again for inviting us and making sure that we participate.
You're watching National Focus. More when we return.
I've worked in the service industry for 9 years, and I love it because of the people I get to meet every day. And that's one of the reasons I went back to college, to be better able to serve the tourists when they come to our destination and to be able to learn more about Dominica. I love learning more about Dominica because the more I learn, the more I can share. And I just want to share Dominica with everyone. I'm from Munjan, which is in the southeast of Dominica, and have lived overseas for 24 years. Living overseas has made me appreciate Dominica and all it has to offer, like taking a walk in the forest, going to the botanical garden, or even drinking fresh Swiss water. I never thought I could miss green so much. Even as a student, I'm still directly linked to the tourism industry, from something as simple as giving directions to tourists, or even more involved like an internship at a hotel, or a cleanup campaign with DHTA. As a tourism student, I have made the decision to take my place in this tourism industry. My name is Lucina Nicholas, and tourism is my business.
Craft is a certain art that creates expression, and one of the things that we do as craft persons, we transfer that expression of self, that expression of value into our products. It's like coming from within, coming from everything that I have and feel, and then it comes out perfect. It's been over 18 years since I've been involved in craft, and it's all through experimenting with different materials, different products. I use a lot of vegetable tanned leather, which is the rawhide, to do my craft, and I get the opportunity to decorate it and to bring out my creation and my spirit within the craft. The work is generally handmade, and that is a unique and authentic thing about craft, is that there's your fingerprint, and a lot of people appreciate the fingerprint of the artist. One of the greatest joys is actually seeing a satisfied customer, especially for a unique piece, and they're like, yes, that is for me and that is mine. That is really a joy. I am proud to be part and parcel of this big engine that fuels the island and the tourism industry. My name is Vanessa Lisa Winston, and I am happy that tourism is my business.
Thanks for staying with us. A grand concert to showcase the talents of Dominica's Lady of Song, Ophelia Marie, will take place on Mother's Day weekend, May 11th and May 12th. Ophelia is celebrating 40 years in the music industry. Organizer of the Mama Creole concert, Leroy Waddix Charles, says the planning of this project has been ongoing for a year.
Last year at this time, I spoke to Ophelia and said, Ophelia, next year, I want us to do a Mama Creole where we can feature you. And without any hesitation, Ophelia said, sure. And like divine intervention, she later called me and told me, Waddix, it will be my 40th anniversary singing professionally. I said, wow, we are going to have a celebration. I spoke to her husband, and immediately he endorsed the project. And we felt that we were going to make this the talk of Dominica.
Charles says the lives of those who have contributed to Dominica should be celebrated. He says Ophelia has made a significant contribution to the country.
This lady next to me has done so much for Dominica. I remember her husband telling me they were at an autograph session, and I continued to imagine an autograph session at a record shop in Martinique. And when the fans came for her autograph, the gendarme had to be called in because too many people, they blocked the streets in Fort-de-France.
He gave details of the Mama Creole event, which will be held at the Strip in Lally, Coco Loubier.
What we have done is put a package together for the weekend, especially for Mother's Day. So we have another lady from the Virgin Islands, a front lady in a band called Cool Session. We'll be gracing the stage with Ophelia. Her name is Tisel, and with the able support of Danger Din and Danger Entertainment, we'll be having Cool Session with us live on that same particular Saturday night with Ophelia. And another beautiful lady, she can stand up, she sang the national anthem with the Swinging Stars, the only female monarch. Not yet a mother, you never know when, possibly soon. But she also is at the front of the band Swinging Stars celebrating 60 years. And that makes up the Saturday night, Saturday 11th. So let's really come out in massive numbers and not just say we love Ophelia, prove we love Ophelia by singing every single song.
Ophelia Mari gave her story of what inspired her to become a singer.
When I was in Lushikadushi, which is the preschool in Curacao, they chose me to be a king to bring a gift for Jesus. It was in a play and I had to sing. And then when we went home, we didn't have television and Facebook and all of that as we have now. What we had was supper and then singing with Daddy. That is where that came from. And those of you who heard Daddy sing notes that he has a better voice than I will ever have. And I know he's singing somewhere with the angels. Music continued to be a source. Mommy taught me a song about fairies. I didn't know anything about fairies, but Mommy taught me that song, so that was very special.
The OECS Competitive Business Unit launched the first phase of its music mentorship and artist development program in Dominica with the first OECS Music Talk late last month at the UWI Open Campus, Dominica. Technical Specialist in Export Development of the OECS Competitive Business Unit, Mr. Ricardo James, says Music Talk is a program targeting emerging musical talents in the OECS, connecting musicians 30 years and under with established and experienced professionals in a series of discussions across OECS member states.
OECS Music Talk is aimed at providing young musicians with the opportunity to learn from experienced and seasoned music professionals, to create an avenue to discuss critical issues facing the music industry in member states and in the wider OECS region, to build a platform for mentorship and coaching of emerging music professionals, and to identify and build a cadre of young musicians for future CBU work in the music sector. We approached 6 experienced and successful Dominican music leaders, and they have graciously agreed to share useful snapshots of their stories, their journey and experiences in the music industry with a small group of young budding Dominican musicians who are aspiring, and I dare say, to surpass their success.
According to Mr. James, the OECS must adjust to the realities of the music industry and create the necessary provisions for artists to navigate successfully within the industry.
We in the OECS and Dominica must understand the industry, and we must adjust to the new realities. The enabling ecosystem and enabling environment and climate for the industry must be developed and strengthened. This includes placing greater emphasis on artist development, increasing the use of artist management and other professional support services. It also requires attention to the policies, the legislation, regulations, and the institutional framework to support the industry. Notwithstanding those challenges that have been faced in the past, several Caribbean and OECS and Dominican recording artists have been able to survive and have become tremendously successful in what they do.
OECS Music Talk is the first of a three-phased mentorship and artist development program being undertaken by the CBU in an effort to help inspire a new generation of musicians to realize their dream to become music professionals. Phase 2 of the program will focus on a more structured mentorship program with mentees in each member state being offered critical advice on building their musical careers and becoming successful musicians. The third phase will involve a coaching program for a select group of mentees drawn from across member states, where they would receive coaching and artistic training from skilled music professionals. And that's National Focus. Coming up next, your tip of the day. Before a storm, you should always put together an emergency kit. The emergency kit should include first aid supplies, a flashlight, extra batteries, at least 3 days of non-perishable foods and water, towels, and a supply of any necessary medication. Stay informed of the storm's path and progress by monitoring wireless emergency alerts via text message and having a battery-powered radio and TV available. That's all for this edition of National Focus. Be sure to follow GIS Dominica on Facebook as well as on Twitter at GIS Dominica. From all of us here on the GIS News Production team, I am SHAAKIRA. Thanks for watching.